Between 40,000 to 60,000 more US and Allied troops are to be sent to Afghanistan under a peacemaking banner during October. It's a joke, folks. It's an absolute joke. While this man is being heralded as a bringer of peace to the world, between 40 and 60,000 more troops are being sent into an illegal war. And also, on the 8th of October, one day prior to the Nobel Committee's decision, the US Congress granted Obama a $680 billion defense authorization bill, which is slated to finance the process of military escalation. Washington and its NATO allies are planning an unprecedented increase in troops for the war in Afghanistan. Fox News has cited figures as high as 45,000 more American soldiers, and ABC News says as many as 40,000. And on September 15th, the Christian Science Monitor wrote of perhaps as many as 45,000. So we're seeing similar numbers coming out of all of these sources. Now, the similarities of the estimates, of course, indicate that a number has been agreed upon, and America's obedient media propaganda machine is preparing domestic audiences for the possibility of the largest escalation of foreign armed forces in Afghanistan's history. They must really need to protect those opium poppies, folks. They really want to keep that opium flowing, don't they? Now, only 7 years ago, the United States had 5,000 troops in Afghanistan, but it was scheduled to have, I believe, as many as 68,000 by December, and this was even before the reports of new developments surfaced. Now, within hours of the decision of the Norwegian Nobel Committee, Obama met with the War Council, or perhaps we should call it a Peace Council, of course, shouldn't we? Because he's got the Peace Prize now. So, of course, there is no War Council. We go see the Peace Council and we organise to go and bring peace to these people by dropping bombs on them. I guess it's very peaceful when you're blown into millions of pieces, folks. This meeting had been very carefully scheduled to coincide with the meeting of the Nobel Committee. It would be very obvious to say, I would think. The Nobel Committee, as we said, the Nobel Committee has, in a sense, given Obama the green light for all this by giving him the Peace Prize. The October 9th meeting in the Situation Room was to set the groundwork for a further escalation of the conflicts under the banner of counterinsurgency and democracy building. Yes, folks, we've got to destroy these insurgents. We've got to build democracy by going in and killing everybody who opposes us in every country we possibly can. And we've got to do it in every country where there's no central bank so that the Rothschilds can gain control of the entire world, as has been their plan for a great many years. And meanwhile, as I stated before, in the course of the last few months, US forces have stepped up their aerial bombardments of village communities in the northern tribal areas of Pakistan under the banner of combating the mythical Al-Qaeda organization. It's disgusting, folks. It's disgusting, it's criminal, and it's being allowed to occur because we the people are allowing it to happen. And I have every faith that humanity is going to free itself from the shackles of this corrupt system. I have every confidence that the New World Order is going to fall on its knees and fail utterly. But I still wonder how many people are going to have to die before that happens. How many countries are going to have to be invaded and destroyed by depleted uranium before people start realizing the power they have to affect change. Of course, the most important thing we can do is to spread information to other people and to wake them up, because we have strength in numbers. But I just still wonder how long it's going to take. And they keep all of the people of Western countries caught up with television and the collecting of trinkets while the rest of the world is raped around us. And once the world is raped, once these countries are taken over, then the next people to suffer will be the people of Western countries, my brothers and your brothers, the people of our nations. We will be totally locked down into a completely repressive, totalitarian police state. And it will have happened simply because we didn't bother to do anything at the onset. Now, apart from a few minor embellishments, the first 30 minutes of what you've just heard in this radio show were mostly taken from an article by a man called Michel Chossudovsky. The article was posted on the Global Research website. The original article was entitled Obama and the Nobel Prize, When War Becomes Peace, When the Lie Becomes Truth. The original article that I took a lot of that from can be found on the Global Research website. I did embellish it. I thought it was a good enough article to repeat to you all today, and so I did so. Well, I think it's time for a break, folks, so we'll go and have a break, and I'll come back and I will try to get things on a little bit more of a positive note for the rest of the show, and perhaps talk a little bit about how we can possibly address this situation, and a little bit about the flow of energy that is being used to do all of this. So I'll see you after the break. Welcome back, folks. Well, what I'd like to do now is I'd like to look at the other side of what I've just been talking about for the last half hour. The situation that is being created before your eyes, if you would just look to see it, rather than believing what is presented to you on the television. The television always presents everybody else as the enemy. But what's going on is there is an element that is controlling Western governments that is out there taking over the world. And this is not good stuff. This is really not good stuff. And it's also happening on an energetic level. Now, I've done countless shows and I've talked about the nature of energy on so many programs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go and download them all from my website. You can go and stream them all off YouTube. Everything's posted on my YouTube channel. I've tried to make people understand that there is a battle of energy that's going on in the world right now, and that it's so simple for us to change what's going on. Now look, in Western countries, you're fed this world by the television. You're caught up in day-to-day life with the gathering of paper and the paying of bills. You've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to go to work, you've got to make money, you've got to pay the electricity, the wife's got to do this, and all of this stuff. It's all ridiculous. It's all completely ridiculous, and it's all contrived. And while you're caught up doing all of this stuff, you're being fed all of these toxins, all these food toxins, all these neurotoxins. They affect brain function. They literally affect brain function. You're fed fluoride in your water. You're fed all of these things. And so you just stay caught up in this matrix, this fake world that the television has got you believing is real. But it's not. What's real is you. What's real is you, and what's real is the planet that you live on and the other people around you. This is what's real. These so-called societies that we live in are ridiculous. They really are. And you see now they've even brought out the new microchip ad. They're actually advertising how great it is to get your body implanted with one of these microchips. Now understand that your body is a biological computer. If you put a microchip in it, if they can read that chip from outside, get a scanner and read your chip, do you seriously think that they can't program that chip from outside? They can add data to the chip. Of course they can, because you get one inserted for your medical records. Well, they keep adding your medical records to the chip, don't they? That means this is a functioning chip that receives signals. Now, there is a video that I put on my website. It shows a test that happened in the 1970s with this thing strapped to this cat's head, and they were changing the emotion of that cat. They were affecting that cat's consciousness by simply changing the frequency that was going to its head. Now, this is what they were doing in the 1970s, folks. Now, they are asking you to get a microchip put into your body. Your body is a biological computer. Everything that you do, touch, taste, see, smell, hear, think, everything is an electrical impulse. Everything that happens in your body happens because of electrical impulses. When you're touching a chair, you feel that because of an electrical impulse your hand sends to your brain. You know, everything you taste, it's an electrical impulse. Your tongue sends to your brain. Your brain interprets this impulse. So, If you allow a microchip to be put into your body, this is like hardwiring a virus into the hard drive of your computer. This is literally putting a back door into your central nervous system. That's what these people are doing. Now, they've got you messed up on neurotoxins and television, and you actually believe this is a good thing. They've created so much crime and turmoil and stress in the world, purposely done, in order to get you into a position where you're going to accept having this microchip put into you.